I have presented to you today a very rational, coherent, logical basis. I have given to you, and in fact, even from the literature itself, according to Christian experts, that, and even Jesus, by your fruits you shall know him. This is a man who advocated very ardently for the belief in Jesus. This is a man who performed miracles, and these were attested to in great numbers. But this is a man who also left under divine authority something tangible. You have it in your hands, and I've presented on that today. If that is not substantial information, then I can essentially go no further, because we've established that these people were the best. They couldn't answer the question, but we've also attested to the prophet's character, that he was never ever known to tell a lie. He was truthful. He wasn't deluded, and he never fit the profile of somebody who was deluded or psychologically or a liar. You know, and somebody who fits the psychological profile of a liar means that there's vested interests. There's the long game, they call it. You know, the prophet in one stage for 3 and 4 moons had nothing to eat in his home. They offered him power. They said, we'll give you everything. We will not make a decision without you. Just stop your call. And he said, if they put the sun in my right hand and the moon in my left, I'll never give up this call. He believed ardently in what had essentially what he'd been given by God. What I have demonstrated to you today is he was a person who told the truth. He was a person that was attested to by the people of his time. We also have the Quranic miracle. And you know, when we say, and you mentioned before, you know, ideas from outside or not outside, the prophet was never known to have been taught from anybody. He never crossed paths with anybody of another faith, except on one occasion when he was a 12-year-old and he passed by a Christian monk. It was a very brief encounter, and he never saw him again. In fact, what Samuel said today is all a testament. How could we have so many similarities? How could that be? And yet this man had never come into contact. And it makes sense that the Arabs were almost cut off from everybody else. Yet we have the book that we have. So in essence, I think that it's reasonable and coherent in terms of what I've done, which have shown that the Quran is miraculous. It actually is a tangible proof. But you cannot show me how Jesus healed the dead today, as alive. But I can show you how, and even though I believe it, and I believe it, and I must believe it, I absolutely believe it. But in terms of the Quran, that is a living proof. And so what benchmark, as they say, mark will you leave by which will demonstrate that this is or is not the case? And I think I've done a pretty good job of that today, so if I do say so myself.